Hello Year 10, and thank you for watching this short video on French beginners and why you should consider choosing French beginners next year for your HSC. My name is Mr. Heyman, and most of you don't actually know who I am because I'm new to the school. I started last year. But I'm a French teacher and I have classes in Year 7 and Year 8, and I have history classes as well. Maybe you've seen me around the school. Anyway, let's begin. So, France and Australia. Let's talk about France a bit. What is it? France is a country that's right in the middle of Europe. It's called the Hexagon because it's a hexagonal shape. It has a population of around 66 million people, which is roughly 2.5 times more people than in Australia. French is spoken by about 300 million people worldwide. It's a very important language because it's an official language in 33 countries. And French has, interestingly, been consistently voted the most beautiful language in the world. And it really, really is a beautiful language. So, is a foreign language relevant? In short, yes, it's very relevant. Let's have a look at why. First of all, English is also a very important language, and English has been influenced by other languages over time. English is a Germanic language, while French is a Romance language, which means it's based on Latin. French has actually had a huge impact on English over the years, and mostly due to the Norman invasion of England. So because of this invasion, French has influenced English, which means there's a lot of similarities between the two languages, and it makes French actually a little bit easier to learn, which is good. Furthermore, French is a working language, which means it has a special legal status as a primary source of communication in multinational companies and enterprises, some of which are the European Union, the United Nations, UNESCO, the International Olympic Committee, the International Red Cross, and of course international courts. So French is extremely important for anyone considering a career path in an international organization. So why learn a language at school? First of all, right now is the best time in your life to learn French. You will never again get another opportunity where you can sit in a class with a teacher and learn a language like this. If you decide to learn a foreign language later on in your life, you'll more than likely end up in a very expensive language school or a massive lecture hall at university with probably 150 other people listening to one teacher and watching a presentation. You won't get this opportunity again in your life. It is really a once-off kind of thing. And right now you are young, and it's been proven that the younger you are, while you're still at this stage of your development, it's actually easier for you to learn a language. As you get older, it becomes a little bit more difficult. So now is the time to do it. By choosing a foreign language, you're preparing yourself to engage in Australia's multicultural and multilingual society. We're all very aware that Australia has many people in it who speak two languages. Learning a foreign language, even just for a few years, has been proven to improve literacy skills, which will ultimately benefit you in all of your courses for the HSC. It opens a world of opportunities for future career options or for exchanges, especially to Europe, which you would not otherwise be eligible for. Myself, I lived in Paris for almost 4 years, and I had by far the best experiences of my life over there in France. And if I hadn't learnt French before, I would not have had this opportunity to do that. It really was an amazing time, and I encourage all of you to travel after your studies. And lastly, you simply don't know where learning French could take you. It could take you into a certain career path that you might not have considered. It might do what happened to me. You might one day live overseas in Europe or in Canada or somewhere else where you speak French. You might meet a French man or a French woman and marry them one day. You never know. You honestly don't know where it will take you. And me, when people ask, what do I do for work? And I say I'm a French teacher, the amount of people who tell me that, I wish I had learned French when I was at school, it's incredible. So it's a really good opportunity that you have right now, and I encourage you all to consider this subject next year. So let's go through some common questions. I've got 4 questions that I think are important. So the first question is, what exactly is a beginner's course? So a beginner's language course is a 2-unit HSC course starting from scratch. To be eligible for this course, you cannot have done French in year 9 and 10. You can have done it in year 8, but year 9 and 10, no, you're not allowed to do it. So because no one in year 10 is enrolled in French at the moment, you are all eligible for this course. And that's great. It means that every single student across New South Wales starts at the same level. People who speak French at home, they are not eligible for this course. They must do the continuous course. So they don't have an advantage. It's a very, very fair course, this one. Question 2, what textbooks are used? So we have a range of proven language resources that I'll be using throughout year 11 and 12. They'll be available from the library, and I'll provide some other resources as well. Internet, websites, CD-ROMs, videos, DVD, magazines, and other cultural things will be used in the teaching program to help you achieve your results. Question 3, who will be teaching it? That will be me. So Mr. Heyman, I'm a French language specialist. I speak French at home. I've studied French extensively, and I've lived in France for a number of years. So I'm more than capable of teaching the course and more than capable of helping you get good results. Question 4, last question. What's in the course? It might be interesting to know what we'll be learning. There'll be a unit on family life. We'll be discussing home life in your neighborhood. We'll be talking about friends, recreational activities, hobbies, things you like to do, education and work, people, places, communities, holidays, travel and tourism, and of course, future plans and aspirations, as well as other things, but they're our main units. Who might be interested? So as mentioned, there are no prerequisites other than you cannot have studied French in year 9 and 10. So everyone is able to do this course, and you can't be a native speaker of French at home. You must be a complete beginner. French it's a fun subject. It's different. It's challenging, but it's challenging in a good way. Anyone can do it. And if you're interested, you really should consider this. Lastly, classes are generally small, less than 15, so you get quite a lot of personal attention and one-on-one assistance with the teacher, which is great. Okay, a few other things to consider. First of all, you don't have to write any essays in French beginners. The longest piece of writing you will have to do is about 125 words in length, so no great long essays like what you'll do in English or history or whatever. Talking in class is encouraged, in French, of course. You get to talk about yourself. A lot of the topics are related to you and your world, so it's quite personal. Furthermore, you can use what you learn in class in your future jobs, when you're traveling, on the internet. You can use French anywhere. Bilingual people always have more opportunities to travel after school as well. And we live in a multicultural society, so developing an understanding and an appreciation of another language and culture is just common sense. So I thought I'd show you some famous people who speak French that you might not know about. All of these people here. Audrey Hepburn, an American actress. She's a French speaker, or she was. Brad Cooper, Emma Watson. So if you're a Beauty and the Beast or Harry Potter fan, Emma Watson was actually born in France and she speaks French very well. Elton John, he's also a French speaker. So is the singer Shania Twain. Justin Trudeau, who is the Prime Minister of Canada, speaks French. The Australian Elle Macpherson, she lived in Paris and she speaks French as well. Celine Dion comes from the French-speaking part of Canada, Quebec, and she sings in French and English. Hugh Grant, an English actor, can speak French. Even Serena Williams, the tennis player from America, she can speak French. So can Johnny Depp and Tina Arena, the singer. Tina Arena actually lives in Paris and she's Australian. And of course, Queen Elizabeth II is also fluent in French. So what do you do now? You must choose French if you're considering it, because you may miss out if you don't. The subjects will be drawn up on interest. So I encourage you to learn a language. The majority of people in the world can speak 2 or more languages. In fact, over 60% of the global population are bilingual, and it tends to only be English speakers who are not. So it's a very important thing to do. Learn French and then travel after your studies when you're finished. I highly encourage that. And hopefully I'll see you next year. And last thing I probably should add is people who study languages and do well in languages actually get higher marks for the HSC. So languages are encouraged by the Board of Studies. And if you do well, it will increase your marks. Anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email or contact me directly and we can discuss. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you next year. Au revoir.